from North-East Arnhem Land, a little town called Yirrkala. So when I explain it to people, I make them imagine the Northern Territory as a rectangle, and I tell them to imagine Darwin as the top left corner and Yirrkala is the top right corner. The Indigenous people here are Yolŋu, and I am Yolŋu. My mother is Yolŋu, and we speak Yolŋu Matha. Your spirit is connected into the land, and it is ever cycling, and you have many identities. And so when I introduce myself to people, I introduce myself as Siena Stubbs. My full identity as a spirit and a Yolngu person would be Siena, Mayutu, Wurmadi, Michbral, Barakara, Barajuna, Yirrkala, Yumalil, Stubbs. Your different names can be given to you by different people. So Yirrkala is the name that my grandmother gave me a few months before she passed. To know that I have that many names and many connections to the land, it makes me feel powerful, I guess. It's like that for everyone, you know. So growing up as a person with a Yolŋu mother and a non-Indigenous father, I've grown up in both worlds. When we started hearing about it, it was sort of like this virus in China. It's in China, it's all right. But when we started hearing about how fast it began to spread, knowing how much knowledge is held within our elders, those important people in our community, it was really worrying. Even if one case got into North-East Arnhem Land. And so our leaders decided to move the elders to a special place far away, which would be the homelands that are spread just outside of this little community here. My grandmothers were taken to their homeland.
It was a voice that our government in the Northern Territory heard, and it started from the roots of the people in the communities. We said, you know, we don't want visitors anymore. Close the borders. No more people coming from interstate. Just close Yirrkala. Full stop, and they did.
I've lived my life wanting to be 18, and now I'm 18. I decided to take a gap year, and I'm so lucky that I did, because imagine being on my own in a city without my family. I'm not allowed to come back on a plane because the NT has shut its borders. So in Yolngu culture, everyone is connected through kinship, or gurutu as we call it, which means that everyone in the community is family. I guess what you can say is there are no boundaries.
We share food, we share anything, everything. So when there's papuru or a ceremony or a funeral of any kind, we're all connected, clan to clan to clan, that we need to be together.
What happens at the funeral? I feel like that's something that we want to share. It's singing the spirit of the...
Yeah. All the clans come together to help grieve with the family who have lost their loved one.
Can you touch on how long ceremonies go for? Because it's guiding the...
Usually 2 weeks. Everybody has to be there to sing the sequence of those song lines to safely take them home.
My mother and her colleague at the school were doing their part to tell students, wash your hands before you come into the class, before you go out of the class. And they've sort of had to get into that routine. Another organisation that's really working hard to spread the information is the Yolngu radio. That's on the air always, every day. It may have been a few days before quarantine started and Mum and Dad had been getting back into gardening. Each afternoon after work would be a sort of debrief after the stressful day at work, you know, controlling everything that was happening. It's really lovely to watch.
We're slowly easing the restrictions. We still don't have visitors from other states as yet.
Are you ready, doggies? I believe there's been no deaths of Indigenous Australian people.
I hadn't heard of any Indigenous person dying from the coronavirus, I don't think.
How does that make you feel?
Really proud of them. I think they heard the warning and they isolated themselves quickly, which was really good. But really proud of our government in the Northern Territory that acted sooner than later, which protected us all, whether you're Indigenous or non-Indigenous, you know.
We've still got to be careful of a second wave until there's a vaccine.
Yeah, we're still aware, you know, eat a lot of fresh food, go hunting. I think we are very lucky people. So to balance two worlds is very, very clever, actually. Yes! This is our Yolngu. We still live that life of before, but living the life of today.